Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week sees Sonic breaking out of video games and into the big screen with Sonic the Hedgehog hitting store shelves, along with the Disney animated adventure Onward, the DC animated action extravaganza Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, as well as Warner Archive Collection is releasing a Blu-ray edition of the 1997 musical biopic Selena. Universal is releasing a 4K edition of the 1980 comedy Blues Brothers. Paramount Pictures is releasing three Tom Cruise movies on 4K. They're also releasing a Blu-ray special edition of Flashdance, plus much more. This is a huge release week, guys, for physical media, man. It is gigantic, man. We're gonna do our best to go see the deals, exclusives, and we're at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in. Quite the week for physical media, guys. Hope you're ready. Let's see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart here, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Sonic the Hedgehog for $27.96, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $22.96, and the DVD over here for $17.96. Now, oh, look at that blue ball of fur there, baby. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and it was actually a movie that I wanted to see in the theaters, and I never got around to it. It was going to be one of those ones I was going to actually, Nick and I were supposed to go, but unfortunately the pandemic stuff was really happening, and we just never got a chance to get around to it, man. But it was one that was on my radar, and to be honest with you guys, I played the old school video games, the Sonic the Hedgehog games, a little bit. I never owned a Sega. I was more of a Nintendo guy, and I was never a Sega person, but I had friends who had Sega, so I ended up going over and playing the Sonic game, and boy, man, you know, I gotta admit, man, Sonic is addicting. That's an addicting game, dude. You know, just the coins that you get, and you're going really fast, and you get to go through all these sort of mazes and tunnels, and it's just really fun as a kid to play that game, or at least it was back in the day. And I was a little nervous about the movie because, to be honest with you, video game adaptations, well, they haven't exactly been the best in the world. Not gonna lie, a lot of video game adaptations really suck. So I was kind of like, what are they gonna really do with Sonic, man? But I was honestly willing to give it a chance. And to be honest with you, I was really pleasantly surprised by Sonic. I really was, dude. You know, after watching this movie, I'm like, damn, this was really good. And this movie really surprised me, man. It really did. I thought the design of Sonic was really amazing. It really feels very old school, just like the Sonic you remember. They put a lot of great little Easter eggs in the movie for a lot of Sonic fans out there. Certain things from some of the video games are peppered through here. James Marsden is pretty good here. He's sort of playing the straight guy to all sort of the madness that's going on. But the one person to watch here is Jim Carrey. My God, dude, Jim Carrey is having a fucking ball with this role, dude. He is having a blast here. It sort of reminds me of old school Jim Carrey from, you know, Ace Ventura days, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, stuff like that, of like old school Jim Carrey, where he's just having so much fun and just sort of making things up as he goes along. And it's so wonderful to sort of see him go so wacky yet a little bit sinister at the same time. He plays a great Dr. Robotnik, man. He does. I can't think of anybody else that would play it as well as he did. He does an amazing job here, dude. I think the action scenes are really well done. I think the animation is pretty decent here as well. I think the movie's overall really, really fun. Not only for old school adults who remember the video games from back in the day, but a lot of sort of new fans who would just come into this blind and just really have a fun time with the movie. I thought this was a blast, dude. I really love the hell out of this movie, and I really wasn't expecting to like it all that much, but damn did it surprise me, man. This one is definitely a winner by far, and yeah, give it up for the design of Sonic, for Jim Carrey. There's a lot of things to love in this, and for old school Sonic fans, even casual ones like myself, this is a pure enjoyment, guys. Definitely check this one out. And the next thing I'm seeing over here, guys, is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Disney's Onward for $29.96, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $24.96, and the DVD over here for $19.96. Now, I am noticing something, that the 4K and the Blu-ray do not come with slipcovers, which is actually really odd, because usually Disney does slipcovers for some of their stuff, at least the 4K, but no slipcovers, which is really weird, man. Kind of odd about that one, dude. But I did end up getting a chance to watch Disney's Onward on Disney Plus. Yes, I did get a chance. I still have actually my Disney Plus subscription. I bust it out every now and again if I really want to watch a movie on the platform that kind of, tickles my fancy. And Onward was one of them. Now, as I've told you guys many times before, I'm not a animated movie fan. It's not that I hate the genre, really. It's that it's not a genre that I really go to all the time. And there's some that frankly don't really interest me, but Onward was one of those ones that did. It really interested me in a big bad way. And so I wanted to give it a chance. I really honestly did. And I had heard so much wonderful things about it. I had heard how it was really a very funny movie, adventurous, very heartfelt, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna see how this one is. And you want to know what, guys? Honestly, this is a really fantastic movie. I was really surprised by this one. How great I think this movie really is, dude. It really is very wonderful of an animated movie. Now, it's basically about these two brothers who are young, and they had lost their father a long time ago, and one is just turning 16, one's a little bit older, and they just wish they could see their father one more time. And they have to deal with being kind of brothers that are kind of embarrassed by one another, and sort of the growing pains of being a teenager. And they live in a world where magic has kind of died, and they end up actually going out of their way to trying to make this magical spell possible so they could see their father one more time, and sort of the adventure that they go on together. And my God, dude, this movie is everything that they said it was. It really is a heartwarming adventure. It's emotional. The animation here is really well done. I think the voice acting here is amazing. Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Everybody does a really fantastic job in their roles. It's beautiful to look at. The story is extremely emotional, extremely heartfelt, and it's one of those movies that really connects to you, at least to me. And the reason why I say that is because I lost my father many years ago, in 1998, actually. And it's been over 20 years. I lost him when I was just 16 years old. And I think about him all the time. I think about him at every single chance. How I miss him so much, and how I wish I could honestly just really see him again, man. And this movie got to me, dude. This movie got to me, man. And I'm not gonna lie, at the end of the movie, man, I was crying, man. Tears were flowing. They were flowing big time, dude. And that's just how powerful cinema can be, man. An animated movie with these elf brothers, for some reason, can invoke me crying like a goddamn baby. But I did, dude. It was so successful at his job. It's funny and it's really well done. And unfortunately, because of the whole stuff with the coronavirus and everything, unfortunately, it didn't get a chance to really go as far as it could in the theaters. And Disney Plus just put it on there to just still let families watch it on the platform. And I highly recommend Onward. I really do. This is a movie that I think years from now will honestly be a classic, guys. It's going to be one of those really classic movies that I think people will be talking about. It's going to gain that kind of love. I really do feel that, man. It's really fantastic, and I can't sing praises about it enough. It's so good that I think you guys are really going to fall in love with it, just like I did. I wasn't planning on falling in love with it, but damn, I did, man. And God, it's so wonderful, dude. This is how Disney movies used to make me feel years and years ago when I was younger, and it's nice to have that feeling again, dude. It really is. Truly a wonderful movie worth checking out, honestly. Definitely get up on this one, guys. And then I'm seeing over here they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital for Justice League Dark Apocalypse War for $17.96, and the DVD over here for $14.96. Now, I got a chance to watch this one on Amazon Prime. Now, I am not a DC aficionado by any way, shape, form. No way am I, guys. You guys are much more informed about the DC universe series than I am by far, guys. But I have slowly started to get into them more and more, and starting to watch more of them, and trying to catch myself up the best I can, because these movies come out constantly. So I'm trying to sort of be more informed. And I know a lot of people were really looking forward to this one, and when I heard about the title, I'm like, oh man, Apocalypse War. I'm like, what? Oh man, we're going dark side here? Like, oh baby, this is so interesting. I can't wait to sort of see what this is, dude. And this movie does not disappoint. Basically, it is everybody from the Justice League, everybody they could possibly get all together in one to fight Darkseid and to try to take him out before they destroy their world and destroy humanity and take them over. And it's just this epic, like, action, like, fight for survival against this big bad, like, looming force of Darkseid. And my God, dude, is this movie dude, it's fucking amazing, man. I'm not gonna lie, this movie is all kinds of awesomeness. It really is, dude. The animation is great here, but it's kind of like a fanboy's wet dream. Like, you know what I mean? It's like having everything all in one here. All of the superheroes together fighting Darkseid. If you've ever wanted to see such sort of epic team-up awesomeness, dude, this is the movie for you, dude. I mean, the DC world is so vast, and there's so many heroes and so many different personalities. And this movie does so well to sort of combine them all and turn it into this sort of epic free-for-all movie. Just this gigantic comic book experience that is so awesome, dude. Seeing all the superhero powers and the ultimate evil like dominance of Darkseid, and how they just make him sort of this unstoppable force. And dude, this is beyond amazing, man. I mean, I used to, back in the day, read some of the Superman comic books. I read a few other stuff like Batman and Green Lantern and a few of those other things. And Darkseid was always this looming force, always this sort of the ultimate baddie that you know you were always scared of. And this movie portrays him perfectly, portrays the bad guys, portrays how he is just annihilating these people, and how they all have to come together and use every single resource they have to sort of take this guy down, and do anything they can to stop this, unstoppable object, man. It's so amazing here. The voice talent here, the animation, the movie itself. It is the most epic sort of animated, battle you've ever seen in your life, and they just did this movie justice by far. It really is absolutely amazing. I can't say enough good things about this movie. The war to end all wars. You're damn right, man. He is the big bad, and they did it perfectly here. I can't think of how this movie could have been any more perfect than what it is. I'm sure it picks up on different threads from other movies. I'm sure that there's certain sort of plot elements that I'm missing from other films I didn't see. But just a movie experience, this did not disappoint and was absolutely badass and awesome. And guys, if you are any fan of the DC animated movies, this is a must own. If you're a fan of the DC world, this is a must own. If you're a fan of, comic book team up movies, this is a must own. It checks all the boxes, and it is pure geeky, amazing awesomeness that you guys definitely have to watch, guys. So definitely get up on this one. You guys will not be disappointed. Even somebody who's only watched a few of the DC Universe ones, this one really wet my whistle in a big bad way. And then over here, guys, I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of The Way Back for 1996, the DVD digital for 1796. Now, I got a chance to watch this one on Amazon Prime, and it's one that I was actually considering watching in the movie theaters, but I decided against it. I was gonna wait. It looked promising, but I was like, is it one I want to watch in the theater or wait on? So I decided to wait on it. And getting a chance to watch this movie, it's actually really very well done, a very dramatic, really well told story. It's basically about this guy who at one time was somebody who had a promising, career as possibly being a basketball star, who sort of let his life go down the tubes. He's a hardcore alcoholic. His life is in shambles, and this Catholic school says, hey, we remember you being very awesome and amazing, and we want you to teach basketball, be the coach of this team. And at first he's kind of reluctant about it, but then he decides to really dive into it and do it, and sees it as an opportunity for himself. And it's him trying to overcome his life, overcoming his alcoholism, and yet, trying to be a role model to these kids and teach them life lessons and the game of basketball. And it's a really well done movie. It's really well told, really extremely dramatic. It's a powerful performance by Ben Affleck, and it's actually a movie that I think Ben Affleck really needed. There's certain movies that actors, like, the movie needs the actor, and there's other movies where the actor needed the movie. And I feel like Ben Affleck is one of these ones that needed this movie, because Ben Affleck's acting career has kind of slightly been on the downslide a little bit. And he had so much difficulties with playing Batman in the DC world. He had so much stress put upon him, and he was actually an alcoholic himself, and he was drinking like crazy and sort of losing his grip on life and reality, and going down a bad rabbit hole. And he unfortunately had to go so far down to sort of come back up. And I think this role suits him perfectly, as a guy who's really going through trials and tribulations of having to overcome these things. And I think the same can be said for Ben Affleck as well. I think it's a really phenomenal movie. I think the basketball here is very inspiring, very touching. It's very emotional. At first, you're going to not like the Ben Affleck character, but I think you'll grow to really appreciate him and like the relationship he has with with these kids and basketball and what he teaches them and what they teach him in return. It's a really great inspirational drama with basketball included here. And I think it's a really great sports drama. I think it's really well done. The performances are fantastic here. And it's a well-told story. And if you guys are into basketball dramas, and there is quite a lot of them out there, definitely give The Way Back a look. It didn't get a lot of great press when it came out, but it's one I think you guys definitely should find, because it's really well told, and it's about a little over an hour and a half or so, but it breezes by, man. And again, Ben Affleck gives a fantastic performance, well worth watching, guys. I'm not always the biggest fan of basketball dramas, but there is certain ones that tickle my fancy, and The Way Back is one of those ones that really is phenomenal. I had a great time watching this one, and I think you will too, guys. Definitely give this one a look. And the only other thing I'm seeing here is they do have a digital movie sort of voodoo code exclusive early access with home premiere for Scoob for $24.96. And I have not gotten a chance to watch Scoob yet. I am an old school Scooby-Doo fan, so I am looking forward to one day checking this out. I know it's on certain digital platforms right now. This is one of those movies that, unfortunately, with the coronavirus going on, the studio had to decide whether or not they were going to wait it out and release it eventually in theaters or do a digital release, and they decided digital. Who can really blame them, dude? I mean, I don't know, man. Who can really blame them about that? You know, they want to get it out there eventually to people, and Scoob is good for kids. So, you know, when they're home, it's nice to have an option to show them. So, hopefully this is going to hit on Blu-ray, DVD, 4K soon. But in the meantime, you can definitely watch it digitally. Not half bad there. And not half bad. They had some really good stuff this week. Not every release, but about 4 new titles. And for this Walmart, that's not half bad, guys. Pretty cool. All right, let's head out. Not too shabby here at Walmart this week, guys. I mean, we have a decent amount of the new releases that came out this week. Now, mind you, we don't have everything that came out this week, because let's be honest, there's a lot of like stuff that came out, certain 4K titles, special editions that maybe this Walmart just did not get compared to maybe some other places. But 4 new titles ain't half bad, guys. Let's be honest here. It's not half bad, dude. And for this Walmart, that's definitely an achievement in a big bad way, man. Actually pretty good here, dude. I mean, not really any exclusives, and I almost thought we might see an exclusive this week over at Walmart, because I thought, well, with, you know, with a Disney animated movie or with Sonic, I thought possible, but not really. At least not this time around for Walmart. Kind of shocked on that. I thought we'd see something of an exclusive, but Walmart rarely does them anymore. I hate to say it, man. But overall, not half bad over here, guys. Again, not all the new releases, but some of them, unfortunately, you might not find in any of the stores, so you might have to go online for some of those things, guys. But not bad selection here overall. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Let's head to the next location and see what they got. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. And this is just a huge, gigantic release week. If you look down Blu-ray.com, you'll notice that there was a lot of stuff being released this week. And actually, this is the last big bonanza physical media week that we're going to have for quite a while, guys. And what I mean by that is that, you know, we're still going to get stuff coming out, but starting June, the releases are going to be really, like, declining. Like, maybe 1 or 2 here and there, but that's it, man. And I kind of feel like the studios probably should have maybe sort of dragged some of these releases out a little bit more, is what I really feel like. They should have maybe only put out 2 or 3 here and there, instead of putting out 7 or 8 big titles. And that's really the problem, right? With movie theaters closed, and, you know, God knows when everything's going to get back to normal, studios are holding back their films. There's not really anything major, like, on a consistent basis coming out on VOD. And so physical media, was eventually going to take a hit. I kind of knew this was going to happen, guys. And we're here. This is where it's going to happen. We've got a huge peak now, and we're going to start to see the decline. You know, when there's a constant steady flow of media week in and week out, I understand putting out, you know, big release weeks and then smaller release weeks, holding back stuff. I understand that. But physical media has always been a feast or famine thing, right? You have physical media some weeks that are like, wow, the sales and crazy stuff that's going on, and a lot of media, and I don't know what to buy. And then weeks where you're just like, nah, it's not really for me. But when now this whole craziness with the pandemic and everything is happening, there's a real sense of maybe we should have held back releases so that too many people are not overwhelmed by everything that's going on, man. And I think that's the problem here. See, the problem is now is that you're overwhelming people with so many releases that are coming out, right? And it's a good thing, but at the same time, people can only buy a certain amount of stuff. Oh my God, well, I got to choose between Sonic or Onward or something like that. Well, I can only choose one. And the problem is that kind of kills the momentum of physical media because so much stuff comes out and then the next week it just plummets like a rock. And so you kind of confuse the general public, you confuse the marketplace. Well, we have a great week of physical media, and then the next week really sucks, and then the following week sucks, and I guess physical media is just starting to die again, right? Well, no, we've just had so many fucking releases that have come out that there's just nothing left to give. And I think that's the real problem that I have, man, is that with this going on, maybe have held back certain things and bring out a steady flow instead of just bombarding the marketplace constantly. Because even though it's great to have all these releases out there in the public, bombarding the marketplace doesn't really help either because people only have a certain amount of money in their wallet. They can't afford everything. And so you want to give them options week in and week out. And when you just flood the marketplace like that, people just end up wanting to buy certain things, and then other titles get sort of lost in the shuffle, and that's it. And you're not able to really get the momentum that you really want. That's just my opinion. I mean, I still love huge physical media release weeks. You guys know this. But at times, with all this going on, maybe they should have thought about maybe, you know, gradually putting stuff out. That's just my opinion, man. But regardless, it is a huge, major physical media release week, online and in-store. So much stuff to show off. Walmart had a decent amount, and I think Target's going to have a good amount too. I really honestly do. With a big release week, they usually have a lot of stuff to show off. Now, last week, not so much. I was really hoping they would have more. Well, that blew up in my face. But I think this week we definitely will. Well, I'm hoping. And hopefully some exclusives. Because I thought we would see stuff at Walmart. But no. And there should be some cool releases this week for exclusives. And there really should. So I'm hoping Target will supply us with some cool releases to check out and exclusives. Let's hope, guys. But the only way we're going to find out is to head inside. So let's go. Check it out. All right, everybody, we are in a Target over here, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the DVD of Onward for $19.99, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $24.99, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $29.99, and of course we get to see an exclusive here at Target. Nice. For Onward, the 4K Blu-ray digital for $34.99, and this comes with a limited edition gallery book, kind of what it looks like on the inside there. Not bad, and I really like the artwork here too. Very different from this art right here, and I actually probably prefer this art here, man. I really do. I kind of like it a little bit more. I don't know why. It just kind of actually looks more like animated and colorful and a lot more going on in the cover art. And what I'm also noticing, guys, is that we still don't have any slip covers for any of these other editions, which I kind of now figure that I guess we're just not getting any of the slip covers for these limited Disney like 4Ks, which is weird. Usually we do, but that's weird, man. Now, I'm kind of hate to say it, I'm kind of in a love-hate relationship with Disney. I really am, dude. And I wonder if you guys are as well. I mean, because they are this really greedy, money-grubbing company that only looks out for their own self-interest. Then again, what company doesn't, be honest with you? And I don't like how they're censoring films, and I think the quality of the product of Disney has went down quite a bit over the years. The imagination, a lot of it has gone down as well. But on the flip side of that, there's movies like Onward that really give me hope for the future of Disney, and gives me hope for the fact of like these great gems can come out from them and really sort of inspire me to believe that there's still a lot of great stuff that can come from Disney. And I think the reason why I love this movie and love what Disney did with this is because of Pixar. And I think Pixar is still making really great Disney product. You look at The Incredibles, and you look at the monster stuff, Inside Out, the Finding Nemo stuff, Toy Story franchise. They're still making really quality animated films, and I think that's the one company of Disney that I still really feel is sort of doing their best work. It may be the only part of Disney that's still doing their best work. And I think Onward is one of those movies that I think is going to be one of those really great classics, like a Toy Story and like The Incredibles. I really do think that. I don't necessarily need a sequel to the movie, even though it would kind of be cool for them to do a sequel to it. I don't really feel the need for it, though. But it's just still a very well-rounded, magical adventure that's really emotionally well told. And I really do. I really think that it's really great. And I think Pixar is one of the best, and they prove it yet again here. They honestly do, guys. And I am looking forward to more of what Pixar is doing. I know they're doing another movie later on this year called Soul, which looks really good as well. So that one I am looking forward to. And again, I know a lot of people really did not find this movie because, again, it just prematurely got kicked out of the box office because of the whole issue with COVID-19. But at the same time, Disney putting it on their Disney Plus platform, I think, really helped the exposure of the film. And I'm hoping now on physical, people will definitely check it out here as well, man. You get deleted scenes, Quest for Story, Hearts Fire, Dragon High, Wizard Rock, and more. It's a really, just as I said, a really wonderful, well-told story. And it has a lot of really great Easter eggs of really great Arthurian legend and a lot of really great magical creatures in here. The designs are fantastic. And there's even a lot of really great Easter eggs for previous Pixar movies that are littered throughout the film. Stuff that I found, but I know there's a hell of a lot more too. It's just a really great movie, man. Kids enjoy it. I enjoyed it as an adult, so it's one of those really well-rounded animated films that anybody can honestly enjoy, man. So definitely check this one out, man. Then the next thing I'm seeing here, guys, is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Justice League Dark Apocalypse War for $24.99. They also have the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $17.99, and another only at Target exclusive Blu-ray DVD digital, only a Target Steelbook for $19.99. Again, they seem to always do these Steelbooks for these DC animated movies. That's sort of like Target's speciality. And another one for some of you collectors to add to the list. Not half bad, man. Now, mind you, it's the same artwork as this. and the 4K. It's nothing really different, just in steelbook form, but still looks nice though. And when I was watching this movie, the one thing that really sort of hit me when I was watching it, well, first of all, how good the movie is, and that's one too, but also, this is what the DCEU should have been. You know what I mean? And I truly do mean that. This is what the DCEU should have become. Because Darkseid is so great that you want Darkseid as your villain. You want that big bad motherfucker to be your main bad guy. And I kind of felt like they were building to that, but the problem is the DCEU never really did it well enough to really make you care. Like when you see that Justice League movie, the live action one, does that really compare to movies like Justice League Dark or the other sort of Justice League animated movie things? Like, it doesn't really. When you look at the comic books and when you see those storylines and everything, and you see this comic book sort of come to life here in this animated movie, this is what you have in your head. The DCU kind of failed in that regard, man. It really did. Now, I'm not saying that they can't, like, try to do something again with it. It can't try to sort of make it better. But I just don't know when they're going to be able to again. And that's the problem, isn't it? I mean, I've sort of heard rumors that Guillermo del Toro might do a Justice League Dark film with sort of Constantine and Swamp Thing and some of those other characters. But when are we going to get another Justice League film with Aquaman and Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, all those people? I mean, you really need to redo the entire DCU to ever get that to happen again. And when are we ever going to see Darkseid in the live action DCEU, man? That's another thing, because outside of Darkseid, I can't say there's like a villain that like is even better than he is, that's as recognizable as he is too. I mean, I'm sure there's more, but I haven't been reading the DC comic books for God knows how long, man. It's been a while, so I don't really know, man. You guys would know more than me on that, but they literally have to reboot some of this DCU stuff, bring back Constantine and do some of this other before we ever get to something like this. I will say, though, I did hear a rumor. It was a recent rumor, too, that apparently Zack Snyder's full Justice League cut is going to be coming to HBO Max. There's sort of a rumor about that, which would be really interesting, and I know that sort of really hints at Darkseid more. I know, of course, that Vision is not the official DCEU version, but it would be actually interesting to find out, though. And I did hear that this was supposed to be the final sort of DC Universe movie. I doubt that really is true, but I think this is the final iteration of this certain DC Universe timeline. And I won't sort of spoil anything, but there's something that happens at the end of the movie that kind of rewrites the history. So I think this is sort of the final one in the timeline that they did have, and I think they're going to be doing a whole new alternate timeline going forward after this one. But regardless, this is the culmination of God, how many animated movies and plot lines and threads and everything. And even for someone like me who's only watched a few of them, this was purely exciting. And for any of you guys that have stuck around with the DC animated, like the movies for as long as you did, this is the ultimate payoff. And it is great. So if you guys were even on the fence about this, don't be, because this is, like I said, a fanboy's wet dream, and it pulls it off in a big bad way, guys. You get Darkseid, New God, Classic Evil, filmmaker commentary, a sneak peek at DC Universe's next animated movie, Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Ooh, I love me some Superman, so that's definitely something I'm going to look forward to. And from the DC Vault, 3 bonus cartoons and a DC Showcase short, Adam Strange. Interesting. See, I don't know who they could do next. Who's more badass than Darkseid? Doomsday? Doomsday's good, but is he as badass as Darkseid? No. It's tough to say. I'm very curious to see if they'll ever do Darkseid live action, because that would be really good, and not that CGI crap that they did in the Justice League movie for that other villain that was really weak sauce, dude. You got to do something really better for this guy. But if they do something like DC did here with Justice League Dark, then count me in. But I think it's going to be a long time till we ever see that. But until then, guys, we have the animated ones, and the animated ones are far superior than the live action movies. That's just my opinion. But definitely let me know what you think, though. And then over here, I'm seeing they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Sonic the Hedgehog for $27.99, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $22.99, and the DVD for $17.99. Now, be damn glad we got what we got, guys. And I'm being honest here. Be damn glad. And what I mean by that is, if you remember the very first trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog, and oh boy, do I remember that damn trailer. The design for Sonic was all different, man. It looked... God, I can't even really describe how it looked, but it was nothing like Sonic. It looked almost like a rat that was supposed to look like a hedgehog, but it got mixed in a blender. So, oh God, it was so weird, dude, with the weird teeth and the eyes, and it really looked creepy as shit, man. It did not look like anything you'd want to experience your kids to. Goodness gracious, man. And there was so much fan backlash and outrage that the studio literally spent a ton of extra money to change the entire design and everything in the movie. And the gamble paid off, because I remember when people saw the new design and people were really praising them and really went out of their way to say thank you. And, you hate to say it, but sometimes it all comes down to one single design that can make or break a movie. And it's called Sonic the Hedgehog. And if you don't get Sonic right, then you are absolutely and incredibly screwed. And so they did the smart move, because, I mean, the movie is still the movie, but when you replace this design with the design that they had in that first trailer, the movie becomes something entirely different. Because you're not really focused on the story or anything or the characters. You're focused on, oh my God, what kind of weird, screwed up alien am I looking at, man? You're just focused on nothing else but how terrible the design is, and that can easily take you out of a movie. So they did the right thing, but there's an alternate world out there where they have the crappy Sonic design, and God help them, dude. My God, man. Oh. That was terrible, dude. Glad we avoided that stink bomb. That was really bad, man. But also, the good thing about this movie is it's actually a good video game adaptation, crazy enough. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, now, come on. There's some really good video game adaptations. And there is. To be fair, some of them are really good. I mean, I like Resident Evil. Mortal Kombat isn't half bad, so I give it that too. But there's a lot of weak ones. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, let's be fair here. I mean, Street Fighter, it's not that great. Max Payne is a real dog. Doom, I kind of have a soft spot for Doom. It's not great, but, the BFG gun and Carl Urban and The Rock, it's not half bad. I mean, you also have Wing Commander with Freddie Prinze Jr. You remember that gem? I actually saw Wing Commander in the movie theater, man. I actually saw that crap in the theater, dude. Boy, that was back in the day. Not terrible, but not great either, man. Super Mario Brothers. Well, that's not exactly the best movie in the world, but I kind of have a soft spot for that one too. I mean, there's some really crappy ones out there, man. I guess it depends. I mean, another one I could mention, House of the Dead. Oh, yeah, you guys remember that crap fest, House of the Dead? Yeah, that was pretty bad, dude. There's far more bad video game adaptations than there actually is good ones. I mean, there's some of the Lara Croft stuff is not bad either. There's some good stuff out there, but Sonic actually managed to be good for fanboys nostalgia. They got the design right. Robotnik was fun, and Jim Carrey was spot on that. A lot of adaptations don't fully get it right, but Sonic did, honestly. And kudos to them. And I will say this, they do kind of hint at a sequel possibility for the end of the movie, and I would love to see a sequel. I really would. The movie did decent at the box office for the time that it was in the theater, so I'm hoping they really do another one. They can build on how good they did this one, and I would like to see it, man. That's honestly what I would definitely be interested. Deleted scenes, bloopers, Sonic's next adventure, building Robotnik with Jim Carrey, and more. Not bad. Like I said, this was a very interesting gem. I was ready to go into this movie, ready to hate it. But this surprised me, and it is one of the better video game adaptations, which may not be saying a lot, but actually pretty good, though. And then over here, guys, I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital for the way back for $19.99 and the DVD digital for $17.99 over here. And this movie is directed by Gavin O'Connor. Now, he's actually a director I've quite liked a lot of his work as of recent. He did Warrior with Tom Hardy, that sort of boxing, MMA, fighting drama, which is actually really fantastic. And he also ended up doing one of my favorite sports movies of all time, Miracle, with Kurt Russell. And that's a really fantastic movie, dude. That's amazing. Really, it's one of my favorites. If you guys have not checked that out, definitely do it. But he knows how to make really great inspirational, like, sort of sports dramas in a lot of ways. And speaking of sports dramas, there's a lot of really good basketball dramas out there. And no, I'm not talking about basketball movies like Space Jam or Air Bud. Okay, I have a soft spot for them, but they're certainly not dramas by any means, man. I mean, movies like He Got Game, Glory Road, which is really good. I was also thinking of Blue Chips with Nick Nolte, which is not half bad. One that really reminds me of this movie quite a bit is Hoosiers. Of course, Hoosiers is like the ultimate classic one as well. But there's a lot of other ones like Love and Basketball, and also the Basketball Diaries with Leonardo DiCaprio, which is really fantastic. I wouldn't call that an inspirational basketball drama, but it's definitely is a dramatic tale, though. I kind of find that basketball is one of the best sort of sports drama genres that you could get. Like putting basketball in there is really a way to tell a really intriguing story. You don't really get that a lot as much with baseball or football. I mean, you have it, but for some reason basketball really makes for good inspirational drama. I find it's like a genre unto itself, dude. There's a lot of really great ones out there, more than I even named. If you guys can name more, definitely let me know, man. I mean, the best basketball drama of all time, I'll tell you what that is, guys. It's Teen Wolf. Come on. He turns into a wolf, and he's got to overcome that stigma, and and learn to be his true self and not party. I mean, what's not dramatic about that? I mean, come on. I mean, I will say this much. I mean, he knew how to chug a beer, though. Damn right, dude, and that's dramatic in itself. Okay, I kid, but seriously, there are some really good ones out there, guys. Definitely name some that I haven't by far, man. But this is definitely one of the better ones that I've seen in quite a long time, man. So if you love a good basketball drama, The Way Back is definitely worth it, man, I would say. You get The Way Back, This Sporting Life, and Every Loss is Another Fight, The Road to Redemption. Not bad special features. Again, it's a really good movie, a really good comeback movie for Ben Affleck, and a great sports drama. So really worth definitely checking out, guys. Not bad, man. And unfortunately, we only got 4 releases this week to check out, man. The same over at Walmart. Kind of sucks. I was hoping for a little bit more, but unfortunately, that's what we got. At least we had some exclusives, and that's not half bad. All right, let's head out. I mean, it's not bad here by any means, guys. I mean, they still have a lot of the big name releases. However, there is some big name releases that came out this week that neither we've seen over at Walmart or we've seen here at Target. Now, I thought we may see them here because, again, a big release week, a lot of variety, but they're not even carrying them. And one of female customers was going up to one of the guys in electronics and asking about one of those movies. And he said that you can order them online, but unfortunately, they're not carrying them in store. I don't know whether they decided that they would just only carry it online and not carry certain things in the stores, which is just really weird. You would think they would want a little bit of both, but sometimes, unfortunately, some of these releases you can only find online, which is just weird. You can go to store after store and think you're losing your mind that it didn't come out, but in fact it did. But these stores just aren't carrying it, but only online, which I find really odd. But it's probably some sort of company policy or something. Hey, it ain't my policy. If it was my policy, every new release would be on the shelves. You guys know that, man. But it happens, dude. But the saving grace of Target here was definitely the exclusives. 2 exclusives definitely beat out 0 over at Walmart by far, man. Not too bad here. The 4 releases, was hoping for more, but it is what it is. Glad we at least saw something here. But we'll see if we can find more at the next location. Let's check it out. All right, everybody. We are at our 3rd and final location, a second Walmart. We're going to go in and check out if there is any indie titles and maybe hopefully some releases that we have not seen yet at the other stores. So cross fingers on that, guys. But in the meantime, I want to talk to you guys about a movie trailer that just literally recently came out, and that is The Five Bloods. Yeah, man, a Spike Lee joint. And you know, everybody is raving about this trailer, and I wanted to watch it. And you know, it's kind of interesting because I really do love Spike Lee. I'm a fan of Spike Lee. I love a lot of his work, but I can't say I love all of his work. He's done a lot of really great, memorable movies, a lot of great sort of blaxploitation films, and a lot of stuff that really deals with racial tension, which is great. I'm glad he brings that subject matter in. He's done phenomenal films. And then there's other ones that he's done which have been iffy, more on the lesser side. He actually did do one war movie, which this kind of is a war movie as well. He did a movie called Miracle at St. Anna, which I wasn't actually a real fan of. I didn't really love that movie all too much, but this one looks really interesting. It's basically about a bunch of older men now who are ex-soldiers who fought in Vietnam, and they found this whole huge stash of gold, and they ended up burying it, and they come back many decades later to unbury it, claim it as their own. And it's sort of between 2 timelines. The timeline of them as younger men fighting in Vietnam, and then the story of them older coming back to Vietnam, trying to find the gold and the complications of that. It looks really great, guys. It looks really gritty, and it looks groovy and psychedelic, and very action driven. It looks really cool. The main person here being Chadwick Boseman, and Chadwick Boseman, dude. Like I said, I've liked Chadwick Boseman, but I gotta admit, man, I haven't liked him in a lot of stuff. He seems like the kind of actor that he's just there. He has the breakout role is Black Panther. That's by far, man. But outside of Black Panther, can you really say he's like absolutely phenomenal in a lot of stuff? Not a ton. I think this is a role that you could really see him being really phenomenal. Like Spike Lee really pushing him to the limits, dude. It looks really great. And it seems like they're taking a page right out of like Apocalypse Now and some of those really great, gritty Vietnam style movies, dude. I'm telling you, man, I love war movies. And I always talk about how I love sort of World War II movies. Like, they're really great. A lot of great movies telling about the heroism and the sacrifice of World War II. But I gotta admit, man, Vietnam is right up there, dude. There are so many really phenomenal movies that talk about Vietnam, the war aspects, the political aspects. And Vietnam is just as fascinating. And I'm going to tell you, man, I think Vietnam has almost just as many great movies about it as World War II does. And if this one is even half as good as I think it's going to be, then add Da 5 Bloods yet to the mix of other great Vietnam films, dude. I think this one could be a real winner, man. Mixing a really sort of psychedelic, gritty war movie with Spike Lee's really great direction. I'm up for it, dude. It looks really cool, man. I think this is going to be a Netflix flick. So I'm definitely interested in and when this is going to drop, and hopefully Netflix is going to give it the love it deserves, because there's a lot of movies out there that unfortunately sort of get buried on Netflix, and this one looks really good, and I hope it doesn't get buried, dude. So I'm, boy, crossing fingers, man. I'm really crossing fingers on this one. It looks really great. And the way the model of movies being released now has become, you know, places like Netflix and everything, they get a lot of really great movies that ultimately should probably be in the movie theater, but as long as you get to see them, who cares whether it's on the big screen or the small screen? As long as you get to experience them, that's what matters, guys. So it looks really cool to me. Let me know what you guys think of that one. In the meantime, let's head in the second Walmart, and hopefully we'll find some really great stuff to check out. All right, everybody, we are in at the second Walmart, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the DVD of Downhill. Nice. Now, we definitely have not seen this one yet. Starring Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Will Ferrell, a different kind of disaster movie. Okay, so I saw this one on Amazon Prime, right? And I wasn't exactly looking forward to it, because if you guys know me and have watched enough of the Out and About, you'll know that I'm not the biggest Will Ferrell fan. He's okay. There's a few roles of his that I really like, but outside of that, I just don't really think the guy's all that funny. I do like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, though, and I remember watching the trailer, and the trailer made it out to be this sort of comedy with dramatic elements. Then, like, okay, and, you know, I looked into the movie more, and this movie is actually a remake to, I believe, a Swedish film, if I'm not mistaken, and it basically has the same idea of this married couple with their kids going on this sort of vacation overseas, and the parents are not exactly on the same page. The dad wants to do certain things, the mother wants to do other things, and they're just trying to get along the best they can. And then there's an incident that happens where there's this sort of small avalanche that happens, and instead of protecting his kids and his wife, Will Ferrell ends up running away. And Julia Louis-Dreyfus is now kind of like seeing him in a different light, treating him differently, the kids are treating him differently, and now he has to sort of regain their trust, and sort of the drama of the tension that they have together, and and you know, when is the tension going to break, and how are they going to resolve this type of stuff, sort of being mad at each other, sort of marital drama, I would say. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be real here. This movie is not funny. It's not funny in the least bit. It's a dramatic movie. It has dramatic moments, but there is nothing funny about this film whatsoever. There's nothing funny about the situations that happen here. There's nothing funny about Will Ferrell's performance or Julia Louis-Dreyfus' performance. They have absolutely zero chemistry together. And it's trying to pretend to be a comedy, sort of wacky circumstances and arguments that pretend to be funny, but they're really just kind of just sad, dramatic moments that don't really add up to any comedy whatsoever. It's really unfunny, and it's very boring. I was sitting there just waiting for the movie to end, to be honest with you guys, and it's less than an hour and a half, and this movie felt really long and dragged out, dude. They sold this movie as a comedy. That's what they sold it as. So I'm going into it saying, oh, this is going to be kind of funny. I mean, it's a serious circumstance of a guy leaving his family behind and trying to save his own ass, but maybe they could make something funny out of this. And I kept waiting for something funny to happen, and nothing was happening. And I was like, oh, when is something funny going to go down here? And nothing was humorous, nothing was delightful. It's just a very depressing movie about two people that frankly are very boring and don't really like each other, and this incident just exaggerated it. That's basically what it is, man. I hate to knock the movie down, but it really is the truth, man. And like I said, I really wanted to like this because I like Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and she does try in the movie, but she just can't make anything good out of a crap script and a crap movie. And Will Ferrell, to me, just feels like he's just going through the motions and not really caring. It's a really dull and lifeless movie, guys. I'm sorry. This is a not recommend. I mean, if you want to fall asleep, then watch Downhill. You'll definitely fall asleep. But if you're looking for comedy, this is a huge disappointment, especially for all you Will Ferrell fans out there who continue to defend him. I want to see you guys defend Downhill, because trust me, man, it's not a good Will Ferrell drama. It's not even a good Will Ferrell comedy. It's really just boring, and that's what it is. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this one is really a lame duck. There's not even any special features either, which tells me a lot. They didn't even want to talk about this movie. There you go with that one. Then I'm seeing over here they have the DVD of Zombies 2 for $17.96. Now, I could have sworn we've shown off Zombies 2 previously, like a long time back, man. I'm surprised they have like the DVD like front and center here, dude, but they honestly do. I forget, what the hell is this about? There's a new pack in town. Oh, give me a fucking break. Yeah, I didn't even see the first Zombies, to be honest with you. If he's not eating her, then I don't want to be seeing this movie whatsoever. Ah, God, you know, I love zombie movies, but I hate when they get all, like, cutesy and musical and dancey and shit. I hate that, dude. God, I hate that, man. This is why I'm really starting to hate the zombie genre. It's turning into bullshit. Fucking Disney doing zombie stuff. Give me a break. God. And I bet you because it's a Disney movie, they're not going to be chomping on any flesh or anything because, you know, we don't want to upset the kiddies. Yeah, fuck that, dude. Give me a zombie movie with some real bite, man. And I'll show a 5-year-old a zombie movie and scar him for life. Shit. Yeah, forget this pile of crap. Eesh. Then I'm seeing over here they have... what's this? Evil Little Things. Time to play. Look at that cover. That's actually a nice cover, man. You know what that reminds me of? There's a theatrical poster that I own for, I believe it's Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 5? Like 4 or 5. And they have the toys and they have like glowing red eyes. And it's really cool, man. Kind of reminds me of that, man. Oh, and it's got that Galligan in it. Interesting. They were supposed to be fun. Look at that. Yo. A young boy finds a mysterious toy maker. Oh, it actually is kind of like Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 4 or 5 with the whole toy maker aspect. Oh, so it's kind of like... So it's actually kind of like a horror anthology. He kind of goes to this toy maker and the toy maker tells him tales. Clowns are supposed to be the guardians of happiness. Are you fucking kidding me? When the hell have you ever heard any person, and I swear to God, when have you heard any person say clowns are supposed to be the guardians of happiness? Man, I've heard no motherfucker ever say that in their life, dude. Hell no, I haven't. You gotta be kidding me, man. I mean, honestly, I will say it actually does look fun, though. I do like a good horror anthology. I like sort of the weird thing of like these evil toys sort of causing mayhem. There's some really cool like evil toy movies. Kind of reminds me of like Puppet Master or something like that. It looks kind of interesting, honestly. It could be really cheesy as shit though, but I kind of have a soft spot for like evil little toys. Evil little things. Doesn't honestly look that bad. Then over here I'm seeing they have Behind You. From the producers of The Gallows. Oh no. Oh no. Oh God, I'm not that great of a fan of The Gallows. Oh shit. Jesus. Blood makes you family. It's kind of a generic cover, man. A little bit generic, actually. A demonic entity summons young Claire to release said from the mirror. You know what the synopsis kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of this old school horror film called Mirror Mirror, which is really great, man. I really love that film, man. It kind of reminds me of that. I doubt it could be as good as Mirror Mirror, because Mirror Mirror is really, really great, man. It doesn't sound half bad, man. It doesn't. Somebody says it belongs in the Conjuring universe. Be careful about that quote, man, because there's some really crap films in the Conjuring universe. So, are you saying this is good, or are you saying this is crap? What are you trying to go for, man? I don't know, dude. It kind of looks generic, but it could be kind of creepy, though. I almost did a double take because that chick almost looks like Lynn Shay. And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, shit, man, another film with Lynn Shay? Man, what isn't she in? But no, kind of just quickly look like her, though. It kind of looks generic. Then I'm seeing they have 2099, The Soldier Protocol. Actually, not bad cover, man. And David Arquette. Look, he looks all sinister and badass. Sometime in the near future, paraplegic. Actually, kind of interesting. I don't know whether David Arquette is the villain here or he's actually the soldier. I kind of doubt that he's the soldier, man, because he can't kick no one's ass nowadays, dude. But it's actually kind of nice to see David Arquette doing another movie, man. I haven't seen him in something in a long while. And to be honest with you, I've always liked David Arquette. He's always been good. I've liked him in small roles in Ravenous. I've liked him in Never Been Kissed. Of course, the Scream franchise, I love him in. In fact, I know he actually just officially signed on to the next Scream film. So it's cool that he's definitely getting more work. But it's been a while, man. Nice to see him doing something, even if it's a cheesy sort of action horror flick. People gotta eat, man. Then I'm seeing over here they got the DVD digital of One Church. One nation under guard, with liberties and justice for none. Interesting cover, man. Very interesting. So one side. Very interesting. What is this one about? When a national tragedy turns into a personal vendetta for aspiring politician. It sounds interesting. There's even a Ronald Reagan quote right here. It's weird because it looks like they're almost talking about like maybe a documentary, but I know that's not it. It's like it's really weird because I try to stay away from movies that are both political and religious, because man, you get into really tricky territory combining the two, man, and you can get into some really rough conversations. It sounds interesting. I'm not quite sure if this is for the religious crowd or the political crowd or both. If it's trying to appease both of them, it sounds interesting, but I don't know where this film is leaning exactly. This looks like a tricky one, dude. Really tricky. I'm probably going to have to pass on this one. Like I said, it looks like an interesting movie, but not something I would definitely be up for. Then I'm also seeing they have Last Moment of Clarity. Chase your dreams, not your addictions. Shitty. Easier said than done. Fuck. Ooh, Samara Weaving and Brian Cox. Nice. Oh, that's really interesting. I love Samara Weaving, man. Love her. Ooh, that's interesting. God, that's really interesting. Yeah, I like that plot, man. You know, it kind of reminds me of... There's sort of movies that reminds me of... It reminds me of that movie Under the Silver Lake that came out like a couple years ago. And it also reminds me of this old school Lucio Fulci film of this woman who ended up like getting killed, and then he sees her again as like this hooker call girl, and he doesn't know whether it's the chick that he used to know or it's a different one. It's like a twin she never told him about. Like, it's kind of like, what's the mystery behind it? And this kind of has that same aspect to it. Some really great special features too. Oh, wow. No, this actually looks really good, man. The cover looks a little generic, but I would be willing to give it a chance, man. Especially with Samara Weaving. You guys know how much I am starting to really love Samara Weaving. This looks like a really good one, guys. I might have to definitely give this one a look. If you guys know anything about Last Moment of Clarity, let me know. It honestly looks like one of the better straight-to-DVD ones I've seen in a while. And then over here, I'm seeing they have A Nun's Curse. She will pray for... Scratch that off. She will pray on you. A Nun's Curse. Very nice. Look at that. Great cover, man. Open wide. Look at that. Oh, Felissa Rose. Whoa, are you kidding me? Felissa Rose, man. From Sleepaway Camp fame. Oh, baby, what's this gem? There is no mercy here. I think that's Felissa. Look, playing the nun. Yeah, she's definitely not holier than thou. On a weekend trip, a group of friends are forced to seek shelter inside an abandoned prison where a nun named Sister Monday. Oh, that's interesting. It kind of looks interesting, man. It kind of does. It's probably a really terrible, creepy, like, film. It probably has some good moments to it, but I doubt this thing is anything but low budget cheese, man, with a killer nun in it that's just knocking these stupid people down. And yeah, it's probably bottom of the barrel, but it probably has some fun moments, man. I will say something about Felissa Rose, though, that I've met Felissa Rose a couple times at horror conventions. She's honestly really nice of a chick. She's actually very welcoming. But one very interesting story that I had about her, and that is my friend and I went to one of the conventions, and she was promoting this movie, right? And this other co-star of hers, this male co-star, was there as well. And she was there at the convention without her husband and kids and everything. And my friend and I are sitting down waiting, you know, for some other stuff that's going to go on, some other discussion panels, whatnot. And we see Felissa Rose walking out of the convention in this guy's arms with her head on his shoulder and sort of making out with him. And we're like, oh shit, that's not her husband. Like, what? Like, so Felissa Rose is not holier than thou. Trust me, guys. Trust me. Felissa Rose can be a real big hooah. Let me tell you, boy. Whoa, baby. Man, I certainly wouldn't tell her my confessions. Shit, man. It does look pleasant, though. It kind of looks cheesy as shit, though. Then over here I'm seeing they have Scarecrow's Revenge. Look at that creepy, mean-mugging motherfucker right there. Look at that. Wouldn't want to cross him in a dark alley. Fear the Reaping. Interesting. Killer Scarecrow movie. A warrior must step up when a heathen banished from her village. It's down to one woman, the survivor girl, to save her village from annihilation against the killer scarecrow. Interesting. I actually don't mind killer scarecrow movies, man. I love a great movie I was thinking of was Night of the Scarecrow, which is fantastic. There's also the movie Scarecrows, which is a really great 80s horror film. Like these like killer scarecrows are like stalking and killing this group of military people. Really great. So there's actually a couple of really great sort of killer scarecrow films, man. I don't know if this reaches the level of those ones, but the design of the scarecrow ain't half bad though, man. It's actually pretty decent. Not half bad. I like the design though. Could be decent. And then I am seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Fear the Walking Dead, the complete 5th season for $24.96, and the DVD for $19.96. Now, let's get into Fear the Walking Dead, dude. Now, mind you, I'm gonna be honest, man. I've stopped watching The Walking Dead. I've stopped watching The Walking Dead for a long while. And as far as Fear the Walking Dead goes, I watched maybe the first 5 or 6 episodes of season 1, and I didn't really care for it. So I was like, why am I going to watch more of it if I don't really care for this? So I decided to cut my losses and just say, fuck it, and not watch any more of it. I did hear Fear the Walking Dead actually got better as the seasons went on and actually became better than The Walking Dead. I don't know how true that is, but a lot of you have told me that. But I've heard, and I was doing my research on this, that The fifth season of Fear the Walking Dead, I think for a lot of people, was the most frustrating from what people told me and the sort of research that I've done about it. That it was one of those seasons where nothing really happened, or characters were being stupid for stupid's sake, and the characters weren't likable. And this is sort of the problem with The Walking Dead, isn't it? Not really just with the original show, but also with Fear the Walking Dead. At a certain point, the storylines start to run out. You know what I'm saying, man? Like, at a certain point, the well starts to run dry, and you have nothing left, man. And I'm thinking Fear the Walking Dead is starting to get there, at least from all I'm hearing from people. Now, the one saving grace of this that I'm seeing is that Morgan, the character from the original Walking Dead, is over in this. And I knew he was coming over to the spinoff. But that is actually even a problem, because I heard that the cliffhanger here has pissed off a lot of people about Morgan. Like, they feel like he didn't get much of a good role in this season, and then what they may do to him at the end of this season, beginning of next, is not exactly the most fairest thing to do to that character. Man, this is a real tough thing with this series, man. I used to love The Walking Dead, and at a certain point, I just knew that the show was spinning its wheels, and that they weren't doing anything new or interesting. Now, crazy enough, I've actually heard that The Walking Dead has actually gotten better, and so it's kind of weird. Now Fear the Walking Dead is kind of lowered in quality a little bit, and Fear the Walking Dead is getting better. What weird shit, man. But when are we going to end this stuff, man? I mean, I've heard rumors of, well, we can keep on going with the Walking Dead series for decades. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? No. We can't do this, man. We can't do this, dude. No, I do not want to be in my 70s or 80s and realizing that the fucking Walking Dead has outlived my ass. Like, no. Fuck no, man. I kind of want to get back into the Walking Dead series again. I kind of do. But I'm hesitant because I got to get through a lot of crap in order to get back into it, including Fear the Walking Dead. Is it worth it? Or should I have just stopped while I'm ahead? I mean, let me know, guys. I'm really curious. And are you a fan of Fear the Walking Dead? Do you like where it's gone? Are you interested in a season 6? Or do you feel like it's just spinning its wheels? Because after a certain while, you can only do so much with undead zombies and evil people in the zombie apocalypse until it starts to get a little boring. Is it just me? I mean, like I said, I gave this show a chance early in the first season, and I wasn't really into it. I heard it got better, but the Walking Dead series, this one and the original, are so up and down that I don't know if I really want to take a gamble in getting invested again and then being let down. Yeah, I'm not sure, man. I mean, definitely let me know what you think about this. I mean, the cover's really cool, but as I've said before, covers don't save a movie or kill a movie, or even a TV series. You gotta watch it for yourself. And with Fear the Walking Dead, it's always a gamble, because some seasons are really slow and boring, and other seasons are really exciting, and it's like rolling the dice at a casino, dude. You could win big, or you could lose in a heartbeat, man. And that's sort of The Walking Dead in general. Yeah. You do get audio commentaries here, so you do get some special features, but not really anything else. I'd be curious of how long The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead go. I mean, are they going to keep this going for decades, or are they going to eventually finish this goddamn thing? I'm very curious, man. Let me know your thoughts about this one. I'm dying to know, man. Other than that, actually, not half bad over here. We saw all of these indie releases, titles here. Some other really cool stuff as well. Not half bad this week, actually, here at this second Walmart. Not half bad at all, guys. Glad I came over to check it out. All right, let's head out. It's not so bad this week here over at Walmart, guys. Actually, not so bad at all, really. Pretty good variety. I honestly really didn't know that there was this many indie horror titles that were actually coming out this week. So that was definitely a surprise. And seeing a little bit more of the releases that I knew definitely came out this week, like Downhill and Season 5 of Fear the Walking Dead. Also, not bad to see that. But there was actually a lot more that came out this week that we didn't even see over at any of the stores. Brahms the Boy 2 came out this week. Castle Rock Season 2 came out. On top of a host of other stuff. Like I said, those 4Ks of some of those Tom Cruise movies, the Blues Brothers 4K as well. I have a feeling we probably would have seen this stuff over at Best Buy, because Best Buy has a lot of that really interesting variety that you don't see anywhere else. Unfortunately, Best Buy is still closed, but I'm really hoping, cross fingers guys, that within the next 2-3 weeks, hopefully, maybe Best Buy is going to reopen again and we can see all of this stuff there when it finally reopens. God, I hope so, dude. Please. Let's hope, dude. In the meantime, man, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Actually, not bad overall. There was a lot more stuff to come out, but sometimes you win at the store, sometimes you lose. But we still got decent variety overall, so not half bad, guys. Alright, pretty good overall. Let's head home and finish the video. Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And I've been feeling bad about the out and abouts for the longest time now. And I've been feeling bad about them because we have not been able to go to Best Buy. And I know there was much more exclusives this week, more steelbooks and some cool sort of action figure stuff. And unfortunately, with the closures, it's been really tough to sort of do these videos because I try to go out of my way to show you guys as much as I humanly possible can do, man. And show off as much of the new releases and as much of the stuff that comes out. And unfortunately, Walmart and Target only has a certain amount of stuff to really show off every single week. Unfortunately, they don't get in all of the releases that I'd like for them to get, but they just don't, unfortunately. And I'm hoping very soon we're able to go back, man, because right now here in New York State, we are right now in phase 1 of reopening, and it's still a lot of curbside and a lot of like small contractors, and a lot of those things can kind of open up right now. If everything goes to plan, however, you know, no really huge spike in high cases, we can control everything, then phase 2 will happen. And phase 2 is more of, you know, a little bit more smaller businesses and more sort of widening of the sort of gap of stores opening. Now, hopefully that will mean maybe other places might get a chance to open up in phase 2, like a Best Buy. If not, then maybe that's more in phase 3. Again, I'm just really hoping we get back to some normalcy at some point. You know, obviously, I know that, you know, I'll still have to wear the mask and still have to wear the gloves, but I'm kind of itching now to get back into Best Buy. I really honestly am. I'm itching to get back in there safely. I am very itching to get back to these places safely and practice, you know, the good rules and regulations that have been put in place here. So as long as I'm wearing the mask and then the gloves and still doing the due diligence of keeping myself and others safe, I'm really hoping we can get back to Best Buy very soon, guys. I miss it, man. I miss Best Buy in a big, bad way. I really honestly do. All those really great employees and a lot of those really great releases that we saw sometimes at Best Buy that we didn't see other places. So hopefully, hoping we can get there very, very soon, guys. But in the meantime, there was still a lot to come out this week. And on top of that, a lot of those releases that were sort of that special edition of Flashdance or those 4K Tom Cruise films, a lot of those you might have to pick up online, go to Best Buy online, go to Amazon.com, some of these other retailers, because I hate to say it, a lot of these stores really aren't carrying those older titles, which is really weird because you would think putting them on 4K and then getting them out into the marketplace, you would think a place like a Walmart or a Target would carry that stuff. But as I said, when we have such a huge release week, these stores only have so much shelving space that they are sort of granted, and so they're like, okay, well, we'll bring this in and this in and this in and this in. Oh, there's these other titles too. Yeah, they just gotta go the way of the dinosaur. So unfortunately, that does happen. That's why I always say with these sort of big release weeks, some of these releases sort of go the way of the dinosaur at times because these stores just aren't carrying them. So that's why I always implore you guys to go out of your way to do your research on these titles and go out of your way to really see what's coming out every single week, because I've had weeks where I've literally passed by on releases and I've regretted it and I've had to go back, or things have gone out of print. And so, do your due diligence as a movie lover, as a physical media person, to do your research. And even though you might not see it in the stores, doesn't mean that it didn't come out. It just means that the stores just aren't carrying it. So, hate to say, you got to do double your research sometimes, but it happens, guys. But that being said, though, still a massive release week, and the really final huge big release week as far as the time being goes, guys. But I guess we go out with a bang, because there's a lot of really great stuff that came out this week. Whether you're buying online or in the stores, there was definitely something to check out this week, guys. Hopefully you picked up something good. It definitely let me know as far as I'm concerned. So let's get into what I picked up, guys. And it's pretty damn good. So the first thing I picked up is, this hefty package from Diabolic DVD right here. Now, this is a limited edition of a 1981 dramatic horror movie. Now, this limited edition is either out of print or extremely close to being out of print. I've been wanting this edition for a really, really long time, guys, and I've been trying to find it on eBay and other places, and the price is just skyrocketed big time. And I sort of put in my sort of email contact info on diabolicdvd.com for this title and saying, hey, if you get more of these, please contact me. I will definitely buy one. And they got a limited amount of stock in, and I just pulled the trigger in a big bad way, man. I mean, this thing is so sweet. I've already opened it up, to be honest with you, so I know what it looks like. It's in perfect condition. I mean, I love the movie because it's so great, but this limited edition, now pretty much out of print, is a beauty, man. A velvet slipcover, poster cards, lobby cards, poster art. So much really great limited edition content in this set. Let me tell you something. Finally having it in the collection is long overdue, and I'm so happy to finally get this thing. It is sweet, guys, by far, man. Dude, I can't wait to share it with you what this is. But boy, so happy to finally have it in the collection, man. So I got that. And speaking of limited edition and out of print, I also got a package in the mail from Michael Felcher. Now, if you guys don't know who Michael Felcher is, he is a Blu-ray and DVD extra feature guy. He actually makes the special features for a lot of these companies, whether it's Arrow or Synapse or Scream Factory. He's done a lot of really great special features over the years for a lot of companies, for a lot of really great films out there. And he's a really great, wonderful guy, the owner and operator of Red Shirt Pictures. And not too long ago, he was doing an auction for a lot of movies and a lot of certain special editions of stuff that he had lying around his place. It was for charity, it was for a good cause, and I tuned in that one night, and he was selling 2 collector's edition Scream Factory releases that are now completely out of print. They are 2 horror sequels, and they're ones that I completely missed out on in their original run, and I was like, oh my god, I missed out on it. I'm never gonna get it. I'm never gonna get them with the limited slipcover, and he was selling them, and I'm like, oh my god, I have got to get up on this. And so for these two limited edition, collector's edition, Blu-ray editions, I ended up paying $60 for both of them. Now, mind you, just one of these titles goes for way over $60 just for one of them alone. So the fact that I got both of them for $60 is a huge, massive get. Again, these are out of print titles, and they still have the slipcovers in amazing condition. They were unopened, so wow, this is a major get for me, guys. There was other really major great releases that he was auctioning off, but these two were the ones I really wanted, and oh, I'm so happy I got these, dude. Again, I love this movie series. These two sequels I love. I haven't seen them for a really, really long time, but I can't wait to dive into them. Wow. Two more out-of-print titles for the collection. Not half bad. So I got this one. And again, speaking of more out-of-print titles, guys, I also picked up another release over at Amazon Prime right here. Now, this is actually another out-of-print Scream Factory title. This sort of apartment horror movie starring Klaus Kinski. And you know, this is another one that's been on my radar for a long time, but, you know, there's so many releases to buy, and certain things just sort of go, you know, out of your mind, and it's not until you remember them that you're like, oh, crap, you know, picking this up, and suddenly it's out of print, and you're like, oh my god, it's going for bigger money, what the hell here? So, I ended up seeing whether Prime or Amazon had more copies, and they didn't have it under the Prime banner exactly, but they had it under other sellers that they could ship through them. And so I ended up just taking the gamble and going through other sellers. It's a brand new copy in perfect condition, and I am so happy to get this as well. So a lot of out of print love for sure this time around, guys. So wow. Oh, a lot of really great stuff here, man. And a hell of a lot more that I've gotten over the course of the month, and more stuff that I'm definitely going to be getting still. Limited editions, collector's editions, 80s, 90s, retro titles, out of print titles. A lot of really great stuff that I've gotten, guys. Trust me, this is going to be a great haul for the month, but you guys are not going to find out exactly what I picked up until my Blu-ray pickles video, which will drop next month. It'll show off all of the releases for May, and you guys know I pick up some really unique and interesting titles, and trust me, this month is no exception, so definitely tune in when that drops, guys. Alright, guys, one more thing before I let you go, and that is talking about the theatrical movie experience. Now, as I was kind of hinting at earlier in the video when I was talking about companies sort of spacing out these releases on Blu-ray and DVD because there's nothing really going on in the theaters right now, nothing is really open, nothing's coming out, and it speaks to a larger issue of really, now that we're starting to work on getting back to some sort of normalcy in the world, seeing things open up, what is going to happen to movie theaters? What's going to happen to the theatrical movie experience now, 2-3 months later, after all this has really gone down? People have been very comfortable sitting at home, watching movies, renting stuff through video on demand and Netflix and you know, physical media and everything like that. Where does the movie industry theatrical window go now from here? And there's a really great article by James Mangold, who obviously is the director of Logan and a lot of other great movies, and he talks about why movie theaters are killing themselves. And it's a very interesting article. He talks about a lot of things. I'll sort of talk about a couple of quotes that he had, and then I'll sort of give my thoughts on some of the... To me, filmmaking is filmmaking. The reality is that the delivery of a movie to a smaller screen that sometimes now is not even necessarily that much of a smaller screen. The reality of theater projection has gotten so tragically bad in so many cases. The fight to put your movie in a theater that stinks and someone's eating an enchilada next to you, half the screen is out of focus or too dim. He goes on to say that my point really is just that theatrical is a wasteland right now of a lot of shitty delivery of movies to audiences who are paying a premium to see them on the big screen. That's something that needs to be solved in the future. I don't think theatrical is dead. I'm sure there's going to be casualties from all this in the theater chains, but I think that people wanting to go out and have a special experience on a big screen with great presentation of a movie that isn't available anywhere else is something that will continue. But I do think the kind of glory period that came up during the 90s when there was really thriving independent cinema on screens in major cities is already gone. Then he ends up saying that the theaters, like all capitalist endeavors, in a never-ending cycle of running from bankruptcy. They pay people as little as they can. They hire as few people as they can. They serve snacks that cost them 45 cents to manufacture at prices 22 times the cost of creating. They put you in a theater that is as passable as it can be at the minimum amount of expense. Once in a while, the main theater chain will renovate and put new equipment in. But if the people running the equipment aren't great, trained, or even give a shit because they're paid so badly, then the result is always going to be questionable. It's just that simple. It really doesn't matter what filmmakers say when theater owners are worried about whether they can pay rent next month. More than whether some spoiled filmmaker thinks that their sound is too low or the image brightness isn't high enough. That's not where their heads are. And he just goes on to say that the way that these theaters are, the way that movie theaters operate, it's got to change. That if it doesn't change, then the theatrical experience is going to die. Because he's not wrong. You think about going into a movie theater, and before all of this happened, I would go into the theater with the guys, and we would be like, oh, maybe we're gonna get a popcorn, or maybe we're gonna get soda, and the cost was so outrageous that you're like, well, fuck that, man. I'll just just go thirsty for 2+ hours and hope to God my mouth doesn't dry to death, or being next to somebody that really stinks, or people talking constantly, and at a certain point you just get so fed up. And now that people have had an opportunity for 2 or 3 months to sit back on their couch, relax, pop in a movie, rent something off of their 55 or 65 inch TV, and sit back and get this full immersive experience just from that, where does the theatrical world go? And it's something that's really interesting to figure out, man, because a lot of these studios, yes, they are holding back titles, but a lot of them have started to loosen their grip a little bit. I mean, they really have. If you look at Disney, they're going to be putting Artemis Fowl on Disney Plus. They've already put Onward there. They put Scoob on the digital. A movie like Capone is coming. We've talked about other movies that are getting video on demand releases or going to Netflix. I just heard about that Tom Hanks World War II submarine drama, Greyhound. That's actually now going to digital as well later on this year. So a lot of these companies right now, they see what's happening and they see an opportunity to go down that road, and they're taking it. And I think Trolls World Tour sort of started us down that path, and now other companies are really loosening the grip. I mean, mind you, the big movies like the Wonder Womans of the world, A Quiet Place Part 2, Bond, all of these other big high-profile movies, Fast and Furious, obviously they're not going to go straight to video on demand. They're not going to go straight to digital. But the fact that some of these movies that were guaranteed to come to theaters are now going straight to digital and physical really says that theater chains really have to be worried about where the revenue is going to come from and what kind of experience are they going to give customers so that they want to come back to the theatrical experience. Because after you've had a taste of the good life a little bit, do you want to go back to the way it was for the status quo? It's tough to say, man. It really honestly is. I mean, I'll go back to the movie theater. I always will, because I always love that experience. But at the same time, having it at the comfort of your home now, some of these movies that you never thought would hit on digital straight away, we're now getting that. Times are changing. Media is changing. You're either going to change with it or you're going to die. And the theatrical window now, you have to give them something that's worth it. Do you go with 3D? Do you go with smell-o-vision? I mean, what the hell do you do if you're these theater owners and this company? There's so many companies now that are going bankrupt. There's so many companies that are being bought out by other places. You know, Amazon is thinking of buying AMC and everything like that. And nowadays, seeing a movie on your 55-inch or 65-inch screen is pretty damn impressive. So where does all this go, guys? At the end of the day, I think the theatrical window will still be there, but will it be as strong later on this year or next year or the following year as it was last year? I don't think so, guys. I really don't think it's going to be. I think we've entered into a new phase of entertainment, and I just don't think there's no going back. I really don't. I think things are going to change in a big, bad way. Whether or not these theater chains like it or not, I don't think they're going to have much of a choice. That's just honestly my opinion, man. I mean, let me know what you think about all that. I'm dying to know out there what you think of how the experience is going to change. If it's going to change at all, definitely give me your thoughts, guys. And that'll do it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD videos I do every single Tuesday. The theatrical movie reviews I do with my friends. The Blu-ray pickup videos, the movie hunting videos, and much more. If you're a lover of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my subscribers. You guys are beyond fantastic. I love each and every one of you so much. You go out of your way to watch the videos, to comment, to give me great feedback and your opinions on the films I'm talking about. You really go out of your way to give me your true love as a film lover, and I really hope I do the same for you guys. So if you love how I talk about movies, the videos, definitely subscribe to the channel and keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Film Fan 108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing through special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. Alright, guys. This was a pretty good week for physical media. A lot more stuff came out as well. But definitely check out some of that stuff that we didn't see in the stores, because there's still some really great releases out there to check out. Even though it's not at your local stores, it's still worth giving a look to, by far, guys. And I will see you back next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.